Are you ready? Who's ready? Ready to do this, Brutus? I guess we'll find out, huh? Oy, oy, oy. All right, Bess. Doesn't look like I have an ad option for you right now. So, again, we need to check the privacy settings, see if you're on Wi-Fi. If you have a weak, like, LTE signal or something like that, then it's not going to let me add you. So let's check it. Might have to call and get him on the phone. So much to get pissed off about today. Oh my gosh, you're reading my mind. It's crazy because like the whole everybody going on about we've got Candace Owen being attacked. To whom does this make sense? So check your internet connection, Joey, because it's not giving me the ad option. So if I don't get the ad option, then it won't, because if your signal's not strong enough, it won't allow you to add to the stream. So they probably have crappy Wi-Fi, and there's probably like a ton of people on it. It's not Silicon Valley. Ha! Where we have fiber optic everything. Woo! Just kidding. Well, not really, but close enough. Let's see. Let's try this again. Nope. Still not letting me have the option of adding you. Let's try one more time. Did it work? What are we talking about today? We're talking about a lot of stuff. We're going way down the rabbit hole today because I started researching. Oh my gosh, first I got to get Joey added to the stream because we're both diving in like head first, like woohoo, shallow end, head first, get a concussion. Yes. Okay. Did you get the invitation? Let me try and send it one more time. Okay. It should have sent. He's traveling, guys, so we're trying to overcome some tech deficiencies here. Everybody knows about getting on public Wi-Fi and like Wi-Fi and all this kind of stuff. So who saw Candace Owen and Charlie Kirk get attacked today? In what twisted, sick world do we live where it's socially acceptable and marginally promoted and high-fived to assault a black woman having breakfast with her friend? Like, did that escape people's notice? And then they called her white supremacist and Nazi. Like the brain fry is strong. I couldn't believe it. I was so shocked. I watched it happen, like, because they were posting the video, like they were Snapchatting and stuff like that, and I was kind of sitting talking to my son, like, catching up on my social media before I kind of started my workday. What a mess. All right, bud, let's try you one more time. Did the invitation even pop on your screen? And then the privacy settings, you have to adjust those down too. They have to be sort of loose tonight. Sorry guys, let me try and I'm trying to add him right now. Patience. It's a golden virtue, isn't it? I find that I have to exercise it more often than a lot of my peers, which, it is what it is. And then a black woman was called a white supremacist. Indeed, she was. They were shouting white supremacist and Nazi at her. Yeah, it was pretty bad, Kala. They were just they were thrown out of the restaurant, first of all. The restaurant was like, no, you can't eat here. We don't serve your black kind. I don't know. The whole thing was like, it was so Alice in Looking Glass land. Like, it was so not our world. And I was just shocked. It was almost like you could say it was faked or staged in some way. It wouldn't shock me if people believed that. But I don't know. It was crazy. It was a whole lot of crazy. And then I read about Alex Jones, all of the accounts being deleted, all of his social media. So for those people that think, this is a good thing, people that hate him. So, let me go on record. I am not an Alex Jones fan. I think he's so extra, and he just goes so far over the top sometimes. And it's just too much. I don't want to listen to someone screaming nonstop for an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours, however long his broadcast is. Nobody wants to listen to that. Nobody. And I don't know. But when we start silencing people one at the time, selectively, he says really nasty things. A lot of people say nasty things. I'm not fond of people that, promote the Church of Satan or whatever. It doesn't mean that I believe in some capacity they should be silenced. Do I think they should shut up? Yes. But would I move to silence them, vote to silence them, take action to silence them? No. Because that's not where we live. That's just reality. And now that we've made it a non-reality for some people that we decided we don't like, that's a scary step, because the power that's held there, when you can't criticize an idea and you can't criticize a person, an organization, or a company, that means that idea, that person, that organization, and that company has too much power. They have too much power. If you're not free to criticize it in our world of free speech, they have too much power, and it needs to be taken down, knocked down a peg, if you will, by the viewing public. That means don't tune in, don't buy their stuff, don't patronize their company, vote with your wallet, because at the end of the day, it's all business. Everything is a business. It's about making money. Don't give them your business. All right, let's see. We're still trying, be patient with me, guys. We're trying to get it back. Travel problems. Hashtag travel problems. Do you guess you're not surprised, Kala? Liberals act like racism just started when Trump was elected, but hey, what do you know? Yeah, what do you know? Tell us all about what the black guy doesn't know about racism. I'm dying to hear this one, because I can't, I don't know, it's today we just kind of took a flying leap into Orwell's 1984. And did everybody read this? Can you pop a thumb if you read 1984? Because I did. I was in the nerd class, and I read it. Man, I think I was a freshman when I first read that in high school. And it was kind of no, we'll never be, how can we get here? You have to really take a turn left to get here. It has to be willful defiance, absolute cognitive dissonance. And here we are. We're right in the middle of it. And I'm watching it happen. And I'm afraid for my kids. My daughter, she was saying this morning before all of this kicked off, we were in the kitchen, and she was saying, I was having my first dose of caffeine for the day, so don't get annoyed if I misquote you, Elsa. But she was saying, she's like, I wish kind of that I went to a school where I didn't hold the popular opinion sometimes. If I could just take a little school vacation and it would be fun to have spirited debates where I could, present my ideas and the facts and evidence that I have. And it's why you fight. It's why we all fight. It's why we all fight. I carry a name that is sitting on that Declaration of Independence because one of my ancestors signed it. It's why we fight. We stay in it. We don't quit. We don't get upset and have our tender feelings hurt, because someone hurt them. All right, I'm going to try again to get him back. Okay, this is not working. Try again. No, you are still not happening. All right, here's what we're going to do. All right, guys, vote now. Should I just call him and have him do speakerphone? And we can just do like the chance speakerphone thing? Or we can reschedule and do this another night. Can y'all just comment real quick and let us know what you'd rather do? Because he's been traveling, so if we can like get a reschedule, then we'll just reschedule. If you guys like the interview format with both people in the frame, or I can put them on speaker if everybody has questions. Yeah, no, it's not letting me add you. It sent the invitation. It should be popping on your screen. Is the invitation even popping on your screen? I am trying, but it looks like, I think it's got to be a signal thing because your settings allowed to have me last time. Speakerphone. All right, guys. All right, let's call him on speakerphone. It still hasn't popped on your screen yet, huh? That's weird. Let me try one more thing. I'm just going to try one more thing to get him back. Yeah, he has the right phone. I know that because we have the same phone. But it becomes a matter of, I don't think I got zucked. So you guys have seen that my content is being deleted. It's bad. It's like just getting worse. So I did post my YouTube channel. If you guys want to go back for my YouTube channel and look at old content, what didn't get deleted, I had my son promptly put up on YouTube. So we did capture the video that was available. But yeah, no, it's got to be your signal is just not. It looks like this. It's got to be a Wi-Fi thing at this point. All right, I'm just going to call him and put him on speakerphone, and that'll be that. And we can just chat. Oh, God, that rhymed. That was terrible. That was some... Oh, here we go. I think we got you. Should be adding. Oh, you did that last time to me too, bud. Why do you fight me so much? I think we should just box and get it over with. Why are you always fighting with me? It's fine. It's the phone. It'll adjust.
No, I did it on purpose.
Ugh. I'm going to fire you. It's happening. You're on probation. Probationary status. All right. Are you okay?
Me? Yeah.
Yeah. You good? You all gravy here? Okay. So we're going to get in it. As I was telling everyone, we ran down the rabbit hole today like two-fisted and without a helmet. So I was jumping in on a lot of things. I jumped in on, I've been getting messages, like oddly enough, crazy enough messages. I probably had 20 messages in my DM box this morning. I can fire him if I want to, Dennis. Zip it up, Spanky. I had, which is unusual. I mean, some days I may have 4, 5, 6, but to have like 20, 30 is unusual. That's a lot of traffic. And it was, can you talk about Alex Jones? Can you talk about the Portland riot? Can you talk about the Berkeley riot? Can you talk about what's happening? And then can you mention, or have you looked into extortion 17? So like the laundry list went down. And I have been reading today like I've not read in a while for a research project. And I just don't even know what to think. And then I started calling people and speaking to them, or emailing, as the case may be. And it disturbed me on a level. Are you okay talking about this?
Me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Send it.
You're the only person I'm talking to. So there's that.
Talking about the world.
Okay. So the original report came out and said that it was that they were shot down, and then it was rescinded, and it said that there was a mechanical failure, and then the details came pouring forth that there was a missing black box, and then someone else published a report that said the black box was never in the aircraft. So number one,
we flying a 757 or what? No, they were shot down. All right, everyone knows that. A bunch of conspiracy theorists. A black box. It's not a black box in a freaking Chinook helicopter, guys.
there is a flight tracker.
There's a flight tracker, but there's no damn black box that records comms and stuff because everything's secure and secret and is in crypto.
But it wasn't on a black helicopter. There was like a thing missing that would have tracked some of the data, but the point
there was nothing missing. It was a classified mission with a classified group, and they're not going to release the information of that stuff. There's nothing missing. There was never nothing missing. Let what go?
What are they going to let disseminate to the public?
They've disseminated everything to the public. It's a bunch of conspiracy theorists. It's a bunch of conspiracy theorists. It's all people that think they get bits of information and let it go.
Yeah.
People are idiots.
Kirk, your video's frozen. Go ahead and exit the app, kill the app, and then come back. Because it's generally... No, I'm talking to Kirk McCune. He said his video's frozen, but I'm all good. I have fiber optic Wi-Fi, so since this is my show, should be all ready.
Okay, I get LTE, so...
And then thing number 2, where was it?
Thing number 2?
Yeah, no. Why do you suppose that the, there was a lot of back and forth on the ground, from comms to the retrieval helicopter or whatever? Everybody was kind of crammed onto one helicopter as opposed to the 2 that they use for infill. They put everybody on one for exfil. And then when it was shot down, the QRF was stood down. Why do you suppose that was?
They were the QRF. They all loaded up on the helicopter because there were some brothers in trouble. And the QRF usually doesn't load off into helicopters. If somebody's in trouble, they're going to shoot 2 helicopters out. One's going to be empty to get the wounded and or the guys there, and the QRF is going to be on one helicopter to lay down suppressing fire when we get there. They're not going to bring in 2 full helicopters to get a team out. They're going to bring in 2 helicopters, one empty, one full, to get guys on the ground to assist in the firefight and get everybody out off the X. So, I mean, I wasn't there. Full disclosure, I wasn't there, but I was able to know a lot of information just due to where I was at. So, but my experience, I'm pretty sure when they heard a distress call, they were all going, hey, we're all going to get on this helicopter whether they like it or not because we're going to help out these guys. It wasn't a conspiracy theory. It wasn't like, oh, why were they doing this, that, and the other? Just the way shit ran. They were the QRF. They were standing by to help out that Ranger battalion. Or element, sorry. It wasn't a whole battalion out there. It was just element.
Got it.
So...
trying to figure out what that sound is. What are you twisting?
I got a new camera lens thing I was going to try because it's supposed to make everything sharper. I got all kinds of new toys. It's like a old
For your
thing. So,
fancy iPhone camera.
well, I can make it better because I got some surveillance stuff, like a telescopic lens for my iPhone and stuff like that, because I can take pictures far away. Because doing some stuff for some people that um, they don't realize that they can take pictures with their phone that are good quality.
Why don't people realize that a 10 or 12 megapixel camera phone is a great camera?
It is, well, one, it's a great camera, but two, they're idiots.
You can, again, we're back to this. Okay.
Is that just even better
So much
picture?
better.
Is it clearer? I don't even know what that means. Sure.
Clearer? More clear?
I don't know. Crisper?
Higher
Crisper?
res?
That's supposed to
Okay.
make it look good. Yeah, look at that. Bright face, whatever, and then
That has more to do with lighting than it does the camera lens. Just saying.
you don't know that. I look better. I look better.
You do. You're like 3 levels more handsome than you were a minute ago, for sure. Like, you went from a solid 4.5 to a 7.6
There you go. I'm just
in a 30-second span.
It was like darker and CPL lens is what it was called. I don't even know what that means, but it crystal plane lens. I made that up. I don't know if the CPL means that.
Okay. All right. So let's get to it. We're going to talk about some training tonight. I have a couple of questions that are a little bit like more charged, but it's okay. We'll get to them. You have a class coming up. Do you have it up on your website yet?
I do. August 25th. I'm doing a one-day defensive pistol course. I got a sweet new range a buddy of mine built that he's going to let me use. It actually is very open and very wide, and it includes vehicles on this range. So instead of getting stuck on some of my, well, I say stuck, but I've always had some excellent ranges I trained on. But it has more stuff that I can utilize to train with, including some vehicles stuff and whatnot. But this one-day defensive pistol course is kind of designed around realistic training and stuff that you can actually possibly use in the unlikely event you may be attacked. It's one thing to kind of go to a regular range and shoot paper behind a nice little table you rest your gun on in a controlled environment. It's another one to actually be dynamic like you would in a realistic situation. Not knocking any of the other ranges, but it's good to go shoot paper every now and then, but you need to gear more towards realistic situations and positions you may actually be caught in public.
Where is this range?
It is it's a little private range in east of Oklahoma City, about 10-15 minutes. A good buddy of mine, Miss Kendra, you've met him, Mr. David Cagle.
Yep.
Nice guy. He has a huge, like, he literally just spent months on making this range. So he's got a long range, awesome. Pistol base. I got pictures he sent me. He's like, hey man, I was like, man, I'm gonna use your range for my next class. So he's super stoked.
I want to go. I didn't get invited.
Everyone's invited. It's on my Facebook page and on my website. You guys check it out. We got a new website up.
Check out the new website. I'm going to post the link for it after we log off here tonight. Hit the new, Joey kind of refreshed his website a little bit. Looks pretty cool. And if you want information about any of his classes or the different courses he offers, but perhaps may not have scheduled or specialty training, you can look all that up on his website and get his contact information, ask him specific questions, which makes it easier if you don't get them asked and answered tonight. And it's in Oklahoma, Brendan.
But I travel, the material I teach is very portable. I don't require much space, and I always kind of set up for success. But yeah, I do travel. So if you have a range that you like to train at and you know the guys who are pretty lenient, introduce them to me, send me their contact information, and I don't mind getting that set up.
Yeah, we're still trying to do a class for California, but the scheduling is proving a lot more difficult than we even thought. It's like stepping into the matrix and trying to make a precision shot.
Well, actually, speaking of which, I just found out today, what's Sunday, October 6th? first Sunday in October, I'll be coming into California to do a class. It's geared around some CQC, basic CQC movement. It's kind
So
of a
we've
follow up for,
do we confirm the
yeah,
6th or the 7th?
whatever Sunday is. What is Sunday? 7th.
7th.
Yep. So October 7th. We'll do that, and it's open, so get in as long as the spots are available. So we'll do no more than 12 people, because then it takes away from the one-on-one training. If everybody
Everybody's.
comes, and I love teaching as many people as possible, but then it just kind of cheapens it, and you don't get the quality training that you come to see that you pay for. So
The reps. Um, are we going back to Inland Empire for this?
now we have another private range that we're going to set up with some actual better shoot move stuff, and yeah, it'll be a good time. So if you're in the California area, definitely hit me up for the information, and we will get you enrolled and signed up, and get you out there on the range with us.
It's a lot of fun, guys. I've done both, and Joe has a funny method, and I can be a really annoying study because I'm overly analytical, and like my understanding, it always goes like left. It's like I avoid the understanding because I'm just, the way my mind works, I'm looking for some miscommunication. But Joe he breaks it down super simply, like delivers all the pieces in really digestible parts, and like it just makes it nice and easy to kind of achieve each, ratchet up level, and then you build on each skill cumulatively. It's all quite comprehensive. Nothing is delivered that you can't handle one piece at a time, and then all of a sudden you're seeing progress by the end of 4 or 5 mags. So that's really gratifying. I don't know about anybody else that shoots, but for me, if I can't see progress in a few mags, I'm frustrated, I'm annoyed, and I want to stop. I think that's pretty standard.
Yeah. So the biggest thing I do is it's kind of answer why we do certain drills and certain concepts. A lot of people will get you on the range and do some fun drills, and some of them you just like, I probably would not use this in a real firefight, but man, this is fun. So basically, when you go to train, you got to answer your questions. Why? Why am I doing this drill? What's this going to improve? How's this going to make me better? It's always good to get quantitative reps. So you definitely want to measure stuff and measure progress and whatnot. And there's certain drills to do that. At the same time, you don't want to waste your training time on the range, because I don't know. There's a lot of people that don't be able to get to the range every day like me. So going to shoot some paper and do these fun drills that kind of are geared towards sports shooting. Nothing against sports shooting. It definitely gets trigger time and whatnot, which is good. But you definitely need to train for more realistic situations when possible if you carry a firearm for defense methods.
Sarah, Sarah. Listen, if I can sit patiently through his class and actually accomplish the goals of enjoying myself and learning what he's teaching, if I can do it, you will do it with ease, because you are 10 times more patient than I am. And I'm an epic pain in the ass standing next to you on any day of the week. So I know you're in East Texas. It's a little bit of a drive, but it's definitely worth it. Like, again, I know we're friends and I get it, guys, but I don't plug all my friends' stuff because I don't believe like so heavily in everybody's everything. Like, I'm like, hey, high five, good for you. But it really is a great class, and I had a great time. John made progress. I made progress. People remarked to me, other people that I shoot with, because I shoot with a cross section of people, and people that shoot with me in other venues actually remarked on progress that they could see. So, that right there was pretty telling as far as I was concerned. But yeah, definitely check out his website and stuff, and then send him an email, and he can get back with you and let you know if there's like a specialty class. We're actually trying to set up a class for women in Texas, but that's like well into next year that we're doing that. Okay. So do you feel like the landscape is changing a little bit in the shooting world, or do you feel like it's just more of what's always been there?
I don't know. I try not to pay attention too much of your basic shooting world. I know there's a lot of big names out there and celebrities, and I try to watch some of their videos and keep up with them because I definitely don't want to. I've only been in the Navy for a year, so I'm pretty current. But the last thing I want to do is lose my currency as far as it goes to shooting defensively and what other people are training and teaching per se. So I always like if I see something good, I'm not afraid to incorporate that, but also say where I got it. A lot of the stuff that I've learned, I didn't create. I haven't created anything on my own, but I've been trained by so many highly skilled individuals and had that combination of experience and training that I'm able to pass effectively these lessons learned, this information, and tie it into a good time. Like I said, I enjoy teaching. It just seems like I don't want to say that I'm naturally good at it, but
You are.
it feels good when I see people get that aha moment. I just seem to connect with people individually and explain things differently to each person. Like I won't sit there and explain it's one person one way and go to you and you're looking at me like I heard what you just said, but I don't understand a single word. Like I won't look at you like you're a retard. I'll break it down in a different way. And I don't know. It seems that I connect with people personally when I train them, to the point where they understand. They just get it. I hadn't really had anybody just look at me and go, I don't understand what you're saying or how you're doing it or what your magic is behind the madness, but thanks for coming by. It seems like everybody I've always trained with has always gotten something out of it.
And hey, go fuck yourself. Yeah, no, it's funny because I'm seeing more people on the range, different people on the range now, and the he, you want people to have the right reasons for training, but then what's the right reason? Is that subjective to my opinion? Is my reason the wrong reason according to half of people? Are they getting efficacy when they train, or are they just like wild and crazy and being unsafe? And that's the beginning. That's the first step, and then they'll accomplish more things going forward. It concerns me. It has to concern professionals in the world that it feels like there's just a lot getting lost in the translation anymore.
Yeah. Well, I try not to lose too much in translation. Like I said, when I train, there's a reason, there's a why behind it. Like, why do we do certain drills? Why would I be shooting like this, or why am I doing these reps? It applies to, hey, you could be in this situation, you know, coming from a parking lot. When I go train people on the range, I always tell them to pretend you're in a 360, 270 environment because in real life you are.
Explain that.
All right.
What's 360 and
360.
270?
So 360 is 360 degree view, so everything around you. 270 is the horizontal view, right? Because you have basically a 270
That's like
environment.
minus 90 degrees. Wouldn't it be 180?
No, because you got to add 180 and 180. There's X, Y, Z axes and platforms, so you got to keep up. Um, there's multiple situations where you may be. I always say 270 because say you're standing on higher ground, it's not going to be 180. There's things going to be below you. There's things going to be above you. There's things going to be up and to the right, up and to the left. It's not just flat and level. I'm staring at this piece of paper, 120 degrees of field of view kind of deal. This way, it kind of helps people. Basically, stuff like that, it helps people open their eyes a little bit because in situations, people have a natural tendency to basically what we call in the military getting this tunnel vision, basically like, oh my gosh, everything's happening right here, right now on the front sight post. But if you
And there's
train
no
those things,
periphery.
yeah, if you train those things that, hey, I gotta be checking around me, what's going on, what's going, I'm putting myself in different situations where, all right, if I had to defend myself in a mall, so I'm looking up, all right, looking around behind me, make sure no one's going to come and get me, or say, I may be on that balcony or that ledge and be like, all right, not only am I looking around me and looking up, I also got to kind of look down, because there could be people shooting up at me kind of deal. I'm not trying to train where everybody's on a flat level playing field. Everybody's going to be right in front of me because threats usually don't attack you at the perfect opportune time, standing there going, hey, I'm about to attack you. Look at me.
Yeah. So, thank you. That this is what I think people get stuck on. Do you feel like there's a time that's too soon for people to start training like in a more dynamic environment, like to hire or, go to a new class or whatever, do you think there's a time that's too soon?
No, if you decide to carry, you should start training immediately because it's one of those things you don't want to. Oh, I got this progression to set up, but then that time comes when you have to utilize that weapon system like that. You live everyday life. You're walking around, you're doing these things. If you don't start kind of getting that mindset and that situational awareness, just that in general, you're basically putting yourself at a handicap. Even though you've already taken those initial steps to not be a victim or a volunteer, as some of my SAD brothers call it. Um, you're still putting yourself in that position of, hey, I've only trained by shooting paper. I haven't really advanced that level. It's not, I call it an advanced defensive pistol class, but it's not like advanced as in the part like, hey, I've taken all these basic shooting classes. I'm ready for it. It's like, hey, I've advanced my skill set and prepared myself for more realistic environments.
Yeah.
So short, long or short is no, it's not too soon. I mean, there's definitely basics that you can do to kind of help open up your eyes and open up your situation and be like, hey, I'm thinking about these things. I can engage these things from a left and right position or seated position or whatnot.
How highly do you recommend that people start with a class? Like, oh, hey, I've been thinking about learning how to shoot a gun. I think I'm just going to go to the range and rent one versus I'm going to take a class. Like,
Um,
tell
I
us
encourage
why. Class right there.
I encourage you to take any type of training, anything. Obviously, the big thing I can say is ask why. If your instructor's telling you to stand on your head with one hand and shoot sideways at this piece of steel that goes dang, ask the reason why. Why would I be doing this to be protecting my life for? Um, Instead of just going out to the range and shooting, I mean, if you haven't developed those skill sets, you definitely get that experience. Take advantage of guys that have been in real shooting situations, real defensive situations. Um, if you're just kind of going to the range and shooting, you're not building up good reps for anything. I mean, you're going real good on putting a hole in a piece of paper, but at the end of the day, you're not going to be putting holes in paper when the time arises. You're going to be defending your family. You're going to be out in public. It's going to be dark. It's going to be at night. It may be raining. It's going to be scary. You're going to be like, crap. If that guy was a piece of paper, I'd crush him. But right now, I'm basically halfway in my car, halfway out of my car. My gun's kind of in this awkward position. And I haven't trained for this, so I'm not confident enough. Because a lot of people, they go to the range and they shoot, and they're like, oh, I can shoot pretty good, but they're not confident enough to carry that gun either on their person or in their gear. Or I say gear, but like your purse or your car or
Yeah.
whatnot.
On your
I
person
always say,
or
yeah, I always say
crossbody.
get some type of training, and that way you have a good starting point to actually start shooting on your own and continue improving on drills, different types of drills and whatnot.
So, what's the importance of training with the weapon you're carrying?
Highly important. A lot of people, they have their range gun, which is fine if you're in a sport shooting or whatnot. But if you don't ever shoot your gun that you have on your person, you're probably putting yourself at a disadvantage. Even carry ammo. A lot of people go to the range, they get your basic ball ammo because it's cheaper, and they just burn thousands and thousands of range, or hundreds. I'm sorry, I always think about when I'm in the Navy. I got free ammo when I was in the Navy. Now I got to pay for it. But
It's
you
not the
burn
same.
a couple boxes of ball, and then you put your defensive rounds back in, and you've never shot those defensive rounds. Chances are they're a higher weight, so they're gonna kick a little harder, they're gonna come out a little faster, and your bullet's gonna react a little differently coming out of your gun than that basic ball target shooting ammo. I mean, it's good when you're burning lots of reps to use the ball, but you definitely need to incorporate your everyday carry ammo into some of your drills because you want to know how your gun reacts to that. You want to know how you react
Yeah.
to it.
Well, and I've shot I put different things through my gun just to kind of see what it likes, so to speak. And I know that sounds strange, but I have.
No, it's too. You gotta find out what your gun likes too, because
Yeah,
each platform is going to react differently with the same type of ammo. So I can take a SIG 320 and a Glock 19, and they're going to react differently with a higher weight, higher grain 9 mil.
yeah.
It's just the way the gun's built, it's designed, and the tolerances basically.
Yeah, and you'll feel like I don't know if everybody's sensitive to this, but I feel when something's a little bit more dynamic, or there's a little bit more flash on the ammo, or it has a little bit more powder, like it's kind of coming back at me. Like I feel all of those little subtleties. But that's probably what part of the same. That's the same vein of thought and talent, and the way my brain works that keeps me from learning quickly. It's like that attentiveness to the oddest little details. Like, why is it doing
Yeah.
that? What's happening?
Definitely, because it'll throw you off guard. So I always compare shooting to running a lot. So kind of like guns and firearms. I'm like, hey, you go find a pair of shoes that fit you. Because a lot of people are like, oh, I shoot a Glock 19. It's like, oh, well, that guy shoots a Glock 19. Maybe we should do it. You know who the fastest runner in the world is? You know, Usain Bolt. Are you going to get a pair of shoes that he runs in? Probably not, because for one, they're customized and fitted to his feet, and they're probably expensive as hell. But number two, they probably wouldn't feel good on your feet if you're just an average guy that likes to run every now and then. So you got to try guns out. You know, same thing with ammo. You wouldn't like you go and run in your training shoes, and then you get to marathon day, and you've never wore those running shoes that you've bought that are like really good. They're not broken in, whatnot. You just pull them out of the box.
Yep.
You're gonna have some issues because you're like, this doesn't feel right. So it's good to have those, training shoes that you train in that you can kind of put more wear and tear on, but you definitely got to incorporate those shoes you're gonna wear game day, right? So same thing with ammo and weapon systems. You got to find what fits you as a person. They're individualized. What you prefer, what feels good when you shoot it. You're like, oh wow, that feels good. Like I feel like I'm doing good because it feels good in my hand. I'm getting shots on target, and then you work with different types of ammo through that, so you know how your gun reacts. If it kicks more, so if you shoot ball and you're like, oh, I know how ball reacts to my gun. Then you have your carry ammo and you start shooting. That's something your mind will pick up, and you'll waste brain power on going, holy crap, there's something wrong with my gun because it sounded like it actually exploded in my hand. No, it's just you have a higher grain round coming out, defensive round, and your gun's fine. You just need to shoot that and get used to that.
Yeah, just a little bit more dynamic, and you can feel it. Like if you, I just pay attention to that. Like every little subtlety it's all of it. So, um, do you do you keep up with stats about how often the use of a personal defensive weapon like a CCW holder is preventive of a crime, as opposed to when one gets committed and it makes the news? Like how much more often a CCW prevents a crime?
So I don't, but those statistics are kind of hard to track because a lot of people that have already said have taken that initial step, hey, I'm going to carry concealed. They've already started, educating themselves and learning themselves and how to basically, because one of the number one things is you're carrying to protect yourself. At the same time, you've already gotten that situational awareness to kind of avoid these situations, prevent these situations, right? So getting somebody that's prepared, it's sometimes it kind of rubs off on you. Like you get more confidence, you actually look like you're prepared, you got your eyes up, you're scanning compared to somebody that is kind of oblivious and in denial, like, oh, I live in a great town, nothing's going to happen to me. And then usually those people are the ones that are on the news going, it came out of nowhere, they're the ones that they want to ask you to hide your kids, hide your wives.
That's kind of me
Yeah.
though too. I'm very like, is this really happening right now?
Yeah.
Seriously? I should write this down. I could put it in a book.
Silicon Valley.
Shut up.
Well, you guys can't even have plastic straws anymore, so I don't even know.
Oh, that's not even going into effect until way later next year. We're still
Uh,
totally allowed to have straws.
yeah. It's funny though, because I think avoiding straws in a small part of California is going to help with world pollution. When, believe it or
When
not, it's a very
99% of the pollution comes out of East Asia and Africa. Yeah.
yeah
Smart
that
move,
whole
guys.
that whole part of the hemisphere is just they do what they want to do when they want to do it. So us in the United States, we can assist that in a very small percentage, but at the same time, you going, oh, we're going to outlaw straws and piss everybody off. It's not really going to affect the Earth is still going to die at one point. It's going to hit the reset button, and the fact that you decided to outlaw straws isn't going to slow it down one bit.
Yeah. And well, and two, what is so naive about it that is frustrating to someone like me is the idea that opening our borders and let anyone come here will solve, problems that are worldwide in other nations, instead of helping them there. Like, not everybody that lives overseas wants to live here. Let's be real.
Yeah.
When I lived in France, I loved it unequivocally. I loved living in France. However, it wasn't home. I wanted to
Yeah.
stay, but it was because I had specific goals for staying. Eventually, at the end of that stay of the time I was a student there, I wanted to go home, to my home nation, to my home country. And most people that live anywhere but here believe that. They love their nation, they love their country, they want to stay there. And if people would take a little bit less focus and stop being so narcissistic that everyone wants to be in the United States physically, help them in their country, help them have their own recycling programs, and help them with their infrastructure. It's way more effective on a world scale than banning straws here and saying, oh, well, just come over to the United States. I get it. You make $1 a month, but just come to the US. You'll be able to get a great job. That's not the case. They don't even want to live here. It's mind blowing to me.
My issue is they've wasted all this manpower time on the straw issue, and there's bigger issues, not only in the state of California, but in the great states of America. There's homelessness, there's medical care issues, there's I don't know, I'd say unemployment, but we all know what's going on right now, and the lowest unemployment we've had in many
Cycle in
decades.
12 years. 12 years. Even the
I'm
end
gonna
of
say
Bush 2.
I'm gonna say 1,200 years. We'll go ahead and call it centuries.
Now, that was one thing that President Clinton did okay, was he got people back to work and then he effed them up again, but whatever, it's cool. Um, it's rough because right here in San Francisco, we have the worst homeless problem, but it's because you have so many social justice warriors concentrated in one place that the homeless come back and they stay. There's so many programs, there's so much money handed out, there's so much food. There have been surveys taken by people on both sides of the spectrum saying that the average homeless person in San Francisco has about $400 on them at a time at any given time. This is why there's so like, you can go to San Francisco on any given day and you will see a bum fight. Like, this has become a thing among so many of my friends that live up there. They're like, today's bum fight, and they like put it up on social media, and like the guy in the brown coat, both brown coat, was going to be the victor. I thought for sure he was getting it, but the guy in the blue coat ended up taking him down. When it's an actual thing among your friends, you got a problem. Like, that's a real problem. When was the last time one of your friends posted on social media about a bum fight? I mean, be serious.
Like one of the few people among my group of friends actually have social media, and that's just fairly new. Bum fights.
Bum fights,
Bum
homeless
fights.
fights. And there's a new mayor. We have a new mayor in San Francisco, and the funniest meme I've ever seen, I think, in my life. And she's like, I'm gonna abate the homeless problem in 90 days. Like, she's got all these lofty goals, and I'm like, yeah, until you start stealing the money too, because San Francisco is
We
at
got that big
nauseum.
island of trash floating around somewhere in the Pacific. We just stick them on that.
Oh, Lord of the living. I just don't think it's gonna work. I don't think they'll go. They don't believe in open borders. They don't want to leave them.
Like free range chickens or something, because there's no fences or whatever.
We're free
They all come
range
back.
citizening.
Yeah, free range citizen, but they keep coming back to the free food with the free range and the freeze. Free. Nothing's
Yeah.
free.
Tom Kyer, you could not be more correct, sir. We have more homeless in San
Chew on,
Francisco than
Tom. How you
any
doing,
other
sir?
city in the U.S. per capita.
I don't have any of the comments on my section.
You don't have any? Did you put it on quiet mode? Slide your
I don't
finger
know.
to the left. Put your finger on the right side of your screen and
Quiet
slide it
mode
to the
turned
left.
on. Swipe left to read the comments. Okay.
Yeah. You're welcome from your Silicon Valley friend.
Yeah. It says quiet mode. Swipe left.
It's okay. We're all over it. It's all right. You're allowed to figure it out one thing at a time. So it's difficult, and this whole pretension behind banning straws and how it's going to help the Pacific Garbage Patch is so preposterous. It's laughable to most people that have a scintilla of logic in their neurons firing, but that's another story for another day. What do you suggest to people that they have a gun, they don't necessarily want to carry that gun, and they take the range and practice with another gun. What do you have to say to those people, and also how they conceal it? Do they carry it off body? Do they carry it in their waistband? Do they ankle carry? Do they small of their back carry? What do you have to say to that?
I'll be honest with you, I wasn't paying attention because I was trying to swipe left. All right. So preview that real quick.
Does my audience that's watching, all 12 of you, I think it's actually 14 now. Do you guys see why I'm putting him on probation? Like, this is the Kendra show. I'm the important one. What do you have to say to people who they have one rig, one gun that they take to the range and practice with it, but they carry something else entirely, and how they carry the weapon, and whether or not they practice with like the withdrawal and, you know, presentation of that firearm? Like, what do you have to say to those people?
Unless you're doing it for a sport, so if you do like sports shooting, and I train with that, but when I go to the range, no matter what I'm doing, I will train like I carry, unless I'm training with law enforcement, then I'll open carry kind of deal. But if you're going to train one way and carry another way, you're setting yourself up for failure.
Why is that?
For example, they had a gentleman that was involved with a 7-Eleven kind of robbery. He wasn't comfortable carrying with a round in the chamber, but he goes to the range, he racks it back, and he always trains with a round in the chamber until he leaves the range, and he ejects that round, puts it in there because he didn't feel comfortable with a round in the chamber. So long story short, you're getting these muscle memory built where you have this round in the chamber, and then you want to shoot with that round in the chamber. You're going to pull that out, and you're going to hear the gun go click instead of bang.
Yikes. So it's like critical importance.
Oh yeah. If you're gonna carry that, you need to train with that. Right? If you don't, you're setting yourself up for failure.
Okay. So the lesson there is train it like you carry it, and if you're carrying it, you should practice withdrawing from that concealment.
Yep. Or even if you're not comfortable practicing from concealment, have it in the position you're going to have it in. So tuck your shirt behind it or whatever. If you carry a purse, grab that purse and bring it to the range and find those faults, those flaws, those small points where things are going to hang up and be like, oh, well, I probably shouldn't carry it like this. I'll probably carry a different way. Or maybe I need to get a sturdier holster or whatnot. Because if you don't, you're kind of setting yourself up for failure. False hope kind of deal of your gear's going to work. Is John setting you up for?
No, Elsa.
It's my number one right there. She's going to help me take over the world.
Right after she helps me. You're going to have to fight me. And I'm super tough. Tactical mom. Okay, so for those women, it's generally speaking, it's women that like to carry off body. I have come to realize that I am not a fan of this concept of off body carry. I don't want to fight with my bag. And I have a bag that is specific to concealing my firearm, which is odd enough in and of itself. But I don't like that. It bothers me. Like, I've tried it with a holster, and it's the whole idea of like defeating the bag and bringing it forward and presenting it like with it just seems a little. And I'm a small person, so concealing on my person is not an easy thing to do. I'm still looking for a holster, in fact. But to those women, oh dang, lost you. I lost him. Did I lose him? I think I lost him, guys. Oh, goodness. Let's see if we can get him back. No. All right, well, I was going to talk about holsters, and we were going to kind of go into that a little bit. Resend you. It's not letting me resend it to you. Dude, we're back to square one. Can you kill the app and then reset it on your phone? You're going to have to reopen it. Just give us 1 minute, guys. You're going to have to kill it because it's not giving me the option to add you, Joey. going to have to kill the app and come back. So, yeah, that it was this whole awkward thing, and now I'm kind of flustered because I'm trying to add him back on. Do you guys have a camera ad option on the stream, on your thing? Can you guys let me know? Can you comment and let me know if you have a comment option on the stream? Or a camera ad, like if you can request to be added on the camera? Because this is... Don't kill Joe. I'm not killing Joe. Nobody's killing Joe. I don't even think that's happening at all. Well, I might, but it would be like hand to hand, like I'm angry, like strangle you kind of thing. It would get ugly. But I'm sure we could put the video on YouTube for a lot of money.
Yes. Back in action.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a Joe Kendra fight would make a lot of money because David versus Goliath.
Two on Harley mentioned adjust how we dress when we decide to carry weapons, no matter what size we are. Yes.
Yeah. It's tough, but you dress around it no matter what. And you have to make the adjustment no matter what. If you want to carry, it's something that you have to kind of deal with. And I mean, I've accepted that, but getting into a space where I can find something that just really works for me is really not as easy as it sounds. Do a lot of people think that, find that, to be a problem in your experience?
Carrying as easy as it sounds? No.
Yeah. No, it's
people,
harder.
Oh, yeah. No, it's definitely harder because people, they just think, oh, just kind of like what Two on Harley kind of mentioned. They have their, nice little skinny jeans and their athletic, affliction shirts and oh, I'm just going to throw on a concealed carry gun. And then it's comfortable as hell, It's just like I said, you wear hiking boots every day of your life, and then you're I'm gonna go run a marathon in those hiking boots. No, you gotta adjust your setup, adjust how you dress, adjust your wardrobe. So what I do, I always go up a size. So I'm usually a 34 waist. Until recently, I got a dad bod, but anyways, I'll go up. I go up to a size 36 pair of jeans because it gives me that extra 2 inches or so to establish all my weapon systems, So it's more comfortable. A lot of people don't carry for that reason. They'll put it on. They're like, man, this is uncomfortable. I can't sit with it. I can't do this or that. And then go put it back in their gun safe. And, I tell you what, you're not going to defend yourself or protect yourself with that thing sitting in the gun safe unloaded.
Yeah.
It's fun to shoot, but like I said, you got to adjust it, kind of your concept. Just like when you start, you're like, hey, I got a new job. What do you got to do? I got to go buy suits. I got to dress for that deal. Same thing with carrying stuff.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people believe one thing conceptually because, in theory, not practice, it's a concept. And then once it gets into practice and, all the facts are tangible, oh, this is heavy. It's, it's sticky. Now it's got my body heat and it's, making a sticky mark on my skin and, it's poking me when I sit or whatever it is. And then people don't want to make those adjustments or they're not willing to try something different. I've tried a couple of things now and I am struggling for real to find something that works for me. Now, Moose suggested to me that I just go he's all, you don't have a holster guy? And I'm like, oh my God, I'm smack in the middle of Silicon Valley. No, I don't have a holster guy. So I'm going to have to probably find someone that does kydex and do something that's a little bit more fit to my body and the shape of my body. I'm pretty consistent with my size, but I'm small. So the protrusion and keeping it somewhere where it's accessible and defeating the clothing isn't going to be an act of Congress, is definitely things that I have to consider. But mainly it's my size and not having something that's protruding or printing all the time.
Yep. It's all about how you choose your clothing, how you choose your wardrobe.
Yeah. The profiles of t-shirts, I've started wearing like different profiles of t-shirts thanks to your wife. I tried a new profile of t-shirt that will work to conceal something like an appendix carry or whatever, if I should choose to do that. But there's just, you can always make choices to dress around the weapon, I find. And I think some people fight that. What do you think?
Yeah. Like I said, a lot of people, like when I'm in a suit, I'm not going to carry my full size, pistol with a double stack 17 rounder. It's one of those things where like, all right, or for instance, when I was in the Navy, I wore those awesome fancy dress blues that made me look like a sexy ass crackerjacker. I
Like
wouldn't
you
care.
belong on a candy box.
I wouldn't. Oh, I look good, but I wouldn't wear a full size pistol with those because of how they fit.
7.8 that day.
So like for that
So
day,
funny.
I wouldn't wear a full size pistol because for one, it's uncomfortable as hell because those things were my boot camp issued blues because I was always hoping to make the next rank, and so I refused to buy a new set of blues. And two, it wouldn't make any sense. I couldn't utilize that tool because I was carrying the wrong toolbox pretty much. That's what you got to think about it. Like, all right, I got all these tools, but I'm going to carry it in this toolbox that doesn't fit fit that tool, so I can't carry it efficiently, right?
Yeah, so you've got like a screwdriver poking out one side and like a drill driver
Yeah,
poking out the other, and the
it's like
hammer won't
yeah,
fit in the bottom and make the trace fold in, that kind of thing.
exactly, exactly. So this is what you got to do. You got your tools for everyday carry, and like kind of like 2-1 Harley said, being a warrior is not comfortable. You're prepared for the worst, so sometimes you just got to work around that.
Yeah.
Just like I kind of mentioned running and stuff like that. You imagine that you look back at that first time you started running. Like how much did that suck running that first 100 yards? You're like, Jesus Christ, there's no way I can run a mile. You work to that, and then you kind of build up those calluses and you build up those reps, and you kind of get like, all right, I can do this, and everything starts becoming normal. And then I got my boys running around and they hate wearing pants. And I think about, man, when did I start going, hey, pants are kind of the norm, they kind of work. Um, it's one of those things you wear it every day and it becomes part of your wardrobe, it becomes part of your everyday thing.
I'm sorry. It took us so long to get our youngest one wearing pants.
Exactly. But it's one of those things now you're like, all right, I wear pants because that's what I wear every day. I wear shirts because it's what I wear every day. It's the same thing with your tools. You're like, all right, I got my weapon systems here. Um, it's part of my everyday carry. It's a part of my stuff.
Yeah.
You don't wear some people don't wear shoes without socks, but at the same time, I don't wear pants without some way to defend myself and on 3 different levels.
It's a real full life up here on the wagon. All right, guys. So, do we have anything else for Joe tonight? We're going to plug his class one more time, and I'm going to put up all the pertinent links in our stream. I have kept him for a really long time.
It's all right. So, too, on Tom mentioned about comfortable being in some rough situations when you're a warrior. Regular life is more uncomfortable. It's one of those things. Do you want to look good when you get assaulted and get crushed, or do you want to be in that situation where like, all right, I may be slightly uncomfortable, but I have all the tools I need to defend myself. It definitely makes sense. Like, oh, I really,
Crush.
really attached to this awesome UFC affliction shirt, but I can't carry my firearm, so I'm gonna leave it in the frickin' we'll leave it in the safe today. And then you go out and some guy sticks you up at gunpoint. You're like, all right, well, give me that shirt too because it's gonna look good on me too. So you're walking around without a shirt, without your wallet, with your pants
The
down.
affliction. Oh, man.
Nothing against Affliction. They're a great brand and have
Yeah.
awesome shirts. It's just I don't um don't wear that crap. Or stuff like
Everyone should train.
Dad. Everyone should train with 2-on Tom. Don't fool you. Those
I know
guys.
that the humble is strong here, but I've seen his stuff too. Like the humble is strong, Tuan and Tom Kyer. And yeah, you're not fooling anybody. Like if I need to throw a shank, I'm probably going to be training with you.
Yeah,
Believe
I don't
that.
I don't I don't pretend to know things that I don't. And and if you say I want to train stuff, I'm going to bring the right people in and we'll all train together, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Chat.
I
Hey,
think that that's part of like the being realistic. I mean, everybody's like, oh no, not me, not me, I'm not the one. But you got to be realistic about what people can expect and what you're going to deliver to them,
hey,
because people will sense a
1 second.
betrayal.
Chad, I'm not home. If you go over there knocking on my door, my wife will probably shoot you because she is
Oh,
prepared
what?
to
Get
defend the home. And ain't no joke.
Yeah, don't do that because I'm a drain the mag if somebody shows up unannounced or unexpected kind of
Especially when
deal.
I'm outside the house. Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
if I'm
know before you
alone,
even. We'll know when you as soon as you step over the threshold of our driveway. We got things set up so that there's notifications going off, and
yeah.
you will already be greeted with a weapon system in your face, whether it be my blade or my pistol or my trusty dog. Um,
Set
Believe
of
it or not, that's
boundaries.
yeah. It's also a weapon system tool, part of the family.
That's line one. Well, maybe the security system is line one, dog's line two. But that's like for me, if you're everybody that knows me knows not to prank me by like coming and pounding on my door at night. Like especially like Jay and the boys, like they go up, to our other house and whatnot. I'm I mean, I have Elsa by myself time to time, or I'm by myself. If I hear something go bump in the night, I'm waiting in a hasty position. I don't have the reps to go clear the house by myself. But I'm just gonna wait in a hasty position where I have a choke point and I have a focal point, and I'm not playing a game. Like this is no longer funny. Don't come over. And we have phones, we have technology. If you want to come over, text me or call me and let me know or ask, because there's nothing funny about home intrusion. And if somebody comes in head first, they're leaving feet first.
Exactly. There's
I'm not
less
a
witnesses that
gambler.
way.
I'm not a gambler. Yeah, plus I'm Italian, so we don't like witnesses. We believe in finishing every job you start.
Yes.
Properly. All right, guys, I'm going to post links. We've got Joey here if you want to grill him any last questions, because this is going to be your last chance tonight. Ask anything about Candace Owen or Ben Shapiro or Alex Jones, or going down the rabbit hole head first.
Questions, comments, concerns, queries, and complaints. That's what I like to say.
Complaints go in the complaint box. That's the only adjustment I make to my show. Complaints go in the complaint box because I like hater mail. It keeps me entertained.
Well, for one, I appreciate everybody taking the time to watch me chit chat about awesome stuff. Thank you guys for the support. Two on Tom, two on Harley, my buddy Mr. Royce, former Marine there. Who? All you
Who?
guys.
Simplify.
Who? Simplify. These guys are awesome.
Simplify. All right, guys. Then we're going to let Joe go tonight. It's kind of late where he is, so we're going to let him log off. I thank you guys for tuning in. If you can share, you're pissed about Vegas. Brendan, why are you pissed about Vegas? What's the matter? And we are going to have Jay on the show, Brendan. It's really difficult to schedule him because he still does work full time, and because he works for the Army, the scheduling is really rough. And sometimes he has to go and work over like by 6 hours that he didn't plan on working. So you know how it goes. Um, anyway, why are you mad about Vegas? Like now I'm curious. Like I should be pissed about Vegas. I'm the only one that should be pissed about Vegas. Anyway, I'm going to put up all the links. Joey's got a class coming up. If you guys are in the Texas or Oklahoma, Arkansas, Colorado, Kansas area, you may want to make the drive. It's always so awesome. Joey, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. And everybody just kind of take a moment, whether you pray, moment of silence, hold up a drink. Today's the 7th anniversary of one of the biggest losses, not only for the NSW community, but the military as a whole. We lost a lot of warriors and overseas taking the fight to the enemy. These guys are awesome. They're all brothers to me. I knew them each one personally just because my background and where I came from. Um, I think about them every day. It's not just today, but every day, and definitely kind of think about what you got around you and the greatness that we have in this great country, and remember that it's paid for in blood and commitment. Um, so to the boys of Extortion 17,
Raise
thank you,
them up.
sirs. Thank you to those fathers, sons, husbands, boyfriends. Like I said, brothers. All right, long live the brotherhood.
Long let it live.
But thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for your support. As you guys all know, plainly, Alex Jones fully kicked off of social media and out of Apple today, which is a really disturbing trend. We've got Candace Owen being called a white supremacist when she's in Pittsburgh, of all effing places. My content, if you guys follow me closely, you'll notice my content is being deleted one item at a time. So I would love a share. I would love a shout, because it's really frightening to me that people's voices are being suppressed. And because I like to have this and this in the frame with me when I'm doing my show and having amazing people like Joey on my show, I get censored and deleted and taken down and just dismantled piece by piece. So guess what? Y'all can go fuck yourselves. Take it and shove it. I won't quit. Like, I'd rather, no, I'm not gonna quit. I'm not giving up.
I just think we should go back to MySpace. Everyone misses that thing, right? They're probably going to remove the video just because of that comment.
I think Tom has let the server bandwidth go, because they used to own a data farm that was really close to here.
He sold it for like billions of dollars. So he's
Yeah.
like, whatever, I'm sitting on a yacht down in the freaking beautiful crystal clear beaches, and I'm not running anything. I'm just spending dollar bills.
All those data farms that they had occupied were released and renewed and released to other companies and venues in the area. So
yeah, I'm just saying.
Tom, we need work. Come back. Anyway, all right, guys, thank you so much. Thanks, Joey. I'm going to, again, adjust it for the links, so look for them tomorrow. Please share us. If you share, you will have the link pop up automatically in your news feed, because as soon as I update it, it will update in yours. And this broadcast will probably only be available for a couple of weeks. So look for us on YouTube.
Share.
I will
share the hell of it.
And share us so that we can patronize Joey's business and mine as well. And when the tide rises, all the boats rise together. Hey! All right. Cheers to those friends of Joey's lost on Extortion 17. In all sincerity, some of us, appreciate the price it's paid in blood, because some of us came from some of that blood, the original blood. And it matters. It may not matter to everybody, but it matters to most of us. So thanks, guys. You have a good night. We appreciate you. You're always working on getting some guys down where you want to put some work in, but the girls and don't want to train. I want to train. I'm a girl. And I'm not a baby about it. I don't even complain.
Send them down.
Send them down.
Hey, this training's not just for girls. Or for guys. Sorry, it's for everybody. Like today, I went shooting with my 11-year-old son and his best friend, and we did some pretty good stuff. I'm gonna post some videos about it, but like just basic stuff on, hey, why do we hold a weapon a certain way? Why do we approach a barricade a certain way? Why do we not stand right next to a barricade opposed to backing off a couple feet? Stuff like that.
Yep. So I'm going to try and make that course. I don't know if I'll be able to make it yet, but I'm going to try and make it, because I had a great time the last time I went out. So I'm definitely going to try and make it and try and make arrangements for that. Anyway, thanks, guys. Again, I love you all. Share, please. Love you. Have a good night. Thanks, Joey.
Yep. Johan out.